Hello Aries, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you have the strongest connection to at this time. We're going to look at all three sides of the connection, your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we are looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased perspective in the middle. The purpose of this middle section is to look at the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As I do in all of my readings, I've pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I have a different tarot deck we'll be using for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck I will be pulling from in the extended to close out the reading. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what doesn't. So on that note, these energies can be swapped. So the whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case, that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to just take what resonates and helps and leave what does not. Also, ignore the fact that I'm wearing a full-on coat today. It is cold. All right, Aries, on your side of the connection, you have a time for healing with the Empress in reverse. So there is you're either in a phase or there needs to be kind of a phase of healing here, obviously. In particular, around... Okay, so there's this energy of taking care of everybody else around you, but not so much taking care of yourself. And I feel as if that really came out in this connection. It feels as if this person was kind of just another person for you to take care of, or is another person for you to take care of. And it somehow in this connection, it very much you neglected yourself here, or are neglecting yourself in some way, shape, or form. And when we do that, it's eventually going to have a pretty severe impact on us, mentally, emotionally, physically. So I feel as if there's a need to kind of dive a little bit deeper into the healing around that right now. But in particular around this person, because this person, well, the overall theme for the reading is deception. It says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So somebody in this connection is not being 100% honest about who they are, what their intentions are. I'm not quite sure who yet, but this person does have step out of your comfort zone with the star in reverse. So this connection pushes this person very much out of their comfort zone, very much pushes them into maybe vulnerability or having to face parts of themselves they don't want to face, or truths about themselves they don't want to face. And with the star in reverse, it feels as if this person is lacking the healing and the growth to be able to handle the way that this connection is pushing them out of their comfort zone, which in turn is directly affecting you. Now, in between this connection, Aries, you both have a look at the bigger picture with the Six of Swords in reverse. So there's a deeper purpose for what's really going on here. But with the Six of Swords in reverse, I feel as if, Aries, you're feeling very stuck. Maybe don't know what to do, or you don't know how to move forward, or even if you want to move forward, you're struggling to do that. It just feels as if you're feeling very stuck. And there's a reason for that too. It's almost as if they're in this period of your life for a reason. But we will see what tarot has to say. So let's start with your side of this connection, Aries. This is Aries' side of the connection. A time for healing with the Empress in reverse. This is Aries' side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Aries' side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. One more. Aries' side of this connection. Ooh. Please. All right. What does Aries need to know about their energy toward this? Whoa. Okay. No, that's okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Because there's the Empress in reverse right there. So the whole deck was upside down. All right, so Six of Pentacles in reverse with the Temperance here. not the whole deck was upside down. I just was holding it upside down. Okay, so we knew this starting from the get-go with the message that I read. There's a lack of reciprocation in this connection. You're giving a hell of a lot more than you're receiving, or were for a long time. With the Temperance, it feels like you were very, very patient for a long time, waiting on this person or waiting on this person to reach a certain point, or, it's kind of the energy that comes through, and I'm not saying this is it, but you're financially supporting someone who doesn't have a job. And it's like you're waiting for them to get a job. You're happy to support them, happy to help them. You're giving a lot to them to help them kind of, through this difficult time. You're waiting on them to get a job. They say that they're looking, but you don't really ever see them looking or see them put in any effort. You don't really see them really trying to change the things that you're supporting them through. That kind of energy. It's like you're happy to be there for them. You're happy to support them, but things weren't changing or aren't changing or haven't changed for a while. So it's that kind of energy. And it doesn't have to be financial at all. It could be emotionally, dealing with someone who's going through a really hard time. And so you're having to kind of pick up the slack in the relationship emotionally, but then you realize that they're not really doing anything to help themselves. They're not really going to therapy, or they're not really doing anything to heal. They're kind of just repeating patterns or falling into bad habits. Now, I'm not saying shame on them for those things. What I am saying is that eventually that's going to become really hard for you to bear, because you're now bearing the burden of both the things that you have going on and also this person, which is not something that can be sustainable for the long term. But all right, Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This deception card's kind of interesting, though. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. The Five of Pentacles. Ooh. Okay, so you've been putting a lot of energy in to this connection. And this could be to things outside of the connection. So because there's this Five of Pentacles. So you're feeling a loss in some type of way. Maybe it's financially, maybe it's in this connection, but your circumstances certainly aren't what you want them to be. And now it just feels as if you're struggling with that, or you were struggling with that, and then also this person. It's like you have your own problems too, but it's almost as if there's no room for them in the connection because this person takes up so much of the space in that arena. Now, there is a little bit of this energy of chasing. So I don't want to say trying too hard necessarily, because I don't think that that's really your energy much, but I do feel, not that you don't try hard, but I just feel as if there's this energy of feeling as if you have to, I don't know if there's like this obligation, feeling as if you have to give as much as you are, as if maybe that's where your value comes from, or it's necessary in some type of way. But it definitely just feels as if this isn't changing. That's I feel like is the biggest thing that's coming through, is it maybe started out as something that you could handle for a while or for a period of time, but now it's not changing, and it could have gotten worse. Whether it's their treatment, their lack of reciprocation, their dishonesty, I don't know. But you're definitely at this point, you're at a loss. That's what it feels like. You're at a loss with this connection. Don't know what to do, don't know the best way to proceed. But it's obvious that you care about this person. I just feel like you're like, what the hell do I do? Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Aries side of this connection. Aries side of this connection. Whoa. The way that came out was aggressive. All right. Aries side of this connection, but it didn't come out. It was just like, which was the High Priestess. So I wonder what that means. The truth behind what's really going on here. The truth behind what's really going on here. Because you really are or did give this everything you have. Now, there's a fly flying around here, so please ignore that if you see that. you really did or are giving this everything you have, like, because you're taking on their burdens a lot. Like, you're bearing the burdens of this person. What is this deception card? Because this is an energy of being very vulnerable, being very open, you know. But there just feels as if like you're doing whatever you know how to do to make this work, to do what's best for you, what's best for this person, but they're certainly not picking up the slack, and things certainly aren't changing. But then you have a time for healing. Because I feel like you kind of got to this place where you were like burnt out, tired, exhausted, unable to continue to move forward. Yeah, it's that energy of being stuck. Aries side of this connection to the person. You're dealing with Aries side of this connection. Aries side of this connection to the person they are connected to. There's that chasing energy again. Yeah, because you obviously had hope that things were going to change. It's not as if you were investing in this going, man, this sucks, but it's going to suck forever. You were going, yeah, this sucks now, but maybe eventually it'll get better as things progress. But it just feels as if nothing changed. You had a lot of hope maybe that this person would change or that things would change, and it just never changed. Which is why I feel like you're now feeling this loss because, and I keep bringing it back to finances, but it doesn't necessarily have to be related to finances. This is just the example that I feel is the easiest for me to provide. But it's like you're feeling this loss because you were making enough money to support yourself, but then you needed to support yourself and this person. And now you're at a loss because you weren't able, because you supported this person for as long as you could, but now you can't do that anymore. And I feel as if that could come from not just, that doesn't have to be a financial energy. It could just be emotional energy. You had enough emotional energy to take care of your daily tasks, to support this person for a time. But then because things were never changing and you were giving so much energy to this person, now it's almost at you're like at this deficit. You're at a deficit in some way, shape, or form. And now it's almost like you're in this place of having to rebuild or put the pieces back together or pick yourself up because of the deficit that this person put you in. Or that you put yourself in for this person, thinking that they would kind of hold up their end of the bargain in a way. That's kind of what it feels like. Hold up their end of the deal, their end of the bargain. But it just feels as if they haven't or didn't. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Aries side of the connection to the person you're dealing with. This is Aries side of this connection. Please. But you are spinning your wheels on this connection. Or are. Aries side of this connection. Aries side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Aries side of this. Oh my goodness. You certainly can't say you didn't try. This person certainly can't say you didn't try. Because it's almost as if you did or are trying to a fault. The kind of energy and work that you're putting in this. Because you have the 8 of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles. Just working. Putting in energy. Trying to make it work. Prioritizing them. Changing around your priorities to make this work. It's as if you were so willing to give this everything you had. You did give it everything you had, thinking that this person was going to eventually give it all back. But things never progressed. Things never got to that point. And it got to the point where it's like you either physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, like you couldn't do it anymore. It was you were incapable of moving forward in the way that things were, because it was like you're at this deficit. We have this cup of energy we have to give. And if we give too much away to what doesn't reciprocate, then we aren't receiving our energy from anything. And so eventually our cup's going to deplete. It's almost as if your cup depleted and then some. It's like, now you're at this deficit. So you're having to heal to even just bring your cup back up to zero, so you can start giving maybe to things that you enjoy again, or giving back to yourself, or showing up in the way that you want to for other people, whatever the case might be. It's almost as if you're having to recover from this. There you are. It's the Queen of Wands. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. But Aries, you gave and gave and gave and gave and gave, and hoped and wished and gave and supported and loved and just waited, and just still haven't seen the reward from that. Aries side of this connection to the person they are connected to. Aries side of this connection to the person they are connected to. This is for Aries side of this connection to this person. Aries side of this connection to this person. Aries side of this connection. Whoa. You held on out of hope. You held on, or are holding on out of hope. But I feel as if the hope is running out. Let me get more on this message. Held on, because the Hangman in reverse with the Six of Wands, held on out of hope. But why? I mean, you probably know why, which means that I probably don't need to know why. Held on out of hope. You didn't want things to end. You didn't want this connection, and you don't want this connection to end. You care about this person. You love them. But you're holding on. It's like the hope that things would eventually get better is the only thing you had to cling to, or have to cling to. Because my goodness, it just feels, despite the energy you put in, despite the effort, despite all of it, you're at this deficit. So you're dealing with all this. The heck do they have going on? This person's energy toward Aries. Step out of your comfort zone with the Star in reverse. This person's energy toward Aries. Step out of your comfort zone with the Star in reverse. This person's energy toward Aries. Please, one more. This person's energy toward Aries. What does Aries need to know about this person's energy? Slowly but surely, things were improving in the beginning. They were improving, things were improving, but then it stopped. It stopped. Slowly, so things were, because there's a Three of Wands in reverse. It stopped when they started having to face the uncomfortable stuff. Uncomfortable emotions, things that they were trying to avoid. So maybe that for a while is why you held on. This person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries. The Empress in reverse. So there's the Empress in reverse. And the Ten of Pentacles. They got complacent. Complacent with leaning on you the way that they did. If it's going back to that job example, if you're supporting someone financially, why would they get a job? They're sitting there, hanging out, getting to do what they want all day. Why would they get a job if they're being supported financially? That's the kind of energy it's taking on. And it's almost as if they were more content, and it doesn't have to be finances. I want to make that very clear. It does not have to be finances. It's kind of like, if you're going to bear the emotional weight of the connection, why the hell do they need to do anything? They can just rely on you for all that. They can just hang out, have fun, enjoy it, it can be that too. But it's almost as if, I don't know if they didn't notice or if they were avoiding being honest with themselves about how it was affecting you. And maybe you're like, I don't know how they didn't know. I told them all the time. Or I tell them all the time. But yeah, it's like they don't see or don't want to see how it's affecting you. It's a very selfish energy. I'm not saying they're a selfish person. Survival mode, when we're in survival mode, we get selfish. It's looking out for ourselves and things like that. So I'm not saying they're a bad person or anything like that, but yeah, it's like this kind of more of a selfish energy. It's very much feels as if this became a lot more about them than it did you. And though sometimes it's going to be about them and sometimes it's going to be about you, it should be reciprocal, right? And that was the biggest thing that was missing here. This person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries. Okay, so there's that world again. Ooh, this is a cycle for them. What is the cycle? It's like were very comfortable with how things were. And making the changes that you would need them to make would make them very uncomfortable. And so they didn't want to do that. They were avoiding that at all cost, which is why they were in this cycle of saying that they would change, that things would get better, that they would change, that they'd improve. I'll get a job. I'll go to therapy. I'll heal. I'll make it better. But that was the deception. I don't think they really ever had the intention to make the changes that you were needing them to make. Or maybe they did when they said it, because they didn't want to lose the connection or upset you, but they never followed through. And so it became this cycle. I'm going to change, things are going to get better. No behavior change. I'm going to change, things are going to get better. I'm so sorry. You're dealing with all of this. No behavior change. And it feels like round and around and around you went or go with this person. This person's energy toward Aries. The messages in this are coming out really clear. I just looked up, I realized this is a much shorter reading than some of them have been this week, but the messages are just like, this person's energy toward Aries. But yeah, there's the running, so there's the chasing, there's the running. They're afraid of you. Not actually. They're afraid of the things that you make them feel. People who don't want to change, I get these comments all the time. And I get it. I completely understand the comments, but it'll be like, oh, so, this person, despite how much I loved them, they didn't love, me in the way that I deserved. And then they move on and they, find someone else and they give them everything that I was looking for. And it's like, well, here's the thing. You were probably asking them to be a hell of a lot more for you than somebody else was, than the person they moved on to. Because this person doesn't want to get pushed out of their comfort zone, right? So this is like if this was a past person and they moved on. I'm not saying that that's the case. But what we have to realize is when we require what we require in love. We desire what we desire in love. And we deserve to have those desires and those requirements met. We do. We absolutely deserve, within reason. I'm not talking about, just absolutely ridiculous demands that you have for a person. But in terms of feeling loved, feeling supported, feeling secure in the connection, those are absolutely things that you deserve. feeling respected, feeling reciprocated. And so when you require that out of someone, that's going to make someone who isn't really willing or capable to meet those requirements feel very uncomfortable, because maybe they don't feel good enough to receive and give love in a healthy manner. Maybe they don't respect themselves, so they can't respect you. Maybe they don't, give energy to themselves, so they can't get, people can only love, take care of, support, care about other people to the extent that they do those things to themselves first. And forcing someone to, pushing someone out of their comfort zone, requiring more of them, saying, I need you to get a job because I can't continue to support the two of us. And again, this doesn't have to be financially. It's just the example. I feel like I've said that so many times. I just feel as if it really needs to be known. But it's like, yeah, you're saying I really need to get you to get a job, when someone else might be like, oh no, it's fine. Just do whatever you want all day. I'll bear the burden. I'll continue to sacrifice myself day in and day out. And it's almost as if you require more of them than they're comfortable with. And it's not that you are asking for too much, okay? You are never asking for too much. But you are asking someone who isn't willing to do the work on themselves to make a healthy connection work. And that is their own stuff going on. There are plenty of reasons that people run from their own healing. The biggest one being it's not fun. Healing is not a fun journey. Facing our past, facing our shadow, facing our triggers, facing our grief, that is not fun. And so a lot of people, I would even probably argue that the majority of people are running from that. And when you meet someone, because in order to make a healthy connection work, it's two people who are familiar with their stuff, right? Their baggage, their past, their trauma, their triggers, how that affects their connections, how that comes out in triggers and things like that. And knowing how to handle that stuff, having the tools, having the self-awareness, having the emotional intelligence to be able to handle that stuff without creating chaos in the connection, without the projection, without the defensiveness, without the fighting and the arguing and the you're asking for too much, I'm never enough for you. All of those things are required, being able to have all those tools. And if someone isn't willing to do the healing in order to be what it is that you require and desire in a connection, you have to be willing to say, okay, then this person is not deserving of the time and energy that I am willing to give to love. Because although I'm a firm believer that we should love everyone to the extent that we can, we should not give our energy, our love, our body, our mind, our soul, our spirit to people who can't reciprocate that. Because otherwise you're going to end up in this deficit. So essentially you're looking for someone to provide for you what it is they're not even providing for themselves. And that has nothing to do with you. That's this person's need to heal, need to grow. Now, that's their lesson, right? But then you kind of have to look at, okay, why did I sacrifice so much or give so much, or why do I think that's necessary in order to receive love? There's always three sides to every story. So, all right, this person's energy toward Aries. But yeah, they're running from this. They're running, not just you, it's not, but you scare them. That's that message that came out. You scare them. You make them have to face themselves, and they don't want to do that. This person's energy toward Aries. There's the Justice. That kept trying to come out, but I wasn't sure. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, because there's the Knight of Cups in reverse. We already saw that Three of Wands in reverse. Queen of Pentacles in reverse with the Justice in reverse. Okay. So. Lack of accountability for their lack of security. Lack of accountability for their lack of security. So going back to the example, and like I said, I don't really think that this is like actually what you're dealing with. But it's like this person blaming everyone for the reason why they can't get a job. Even though they're not really trying. They haven't completed a resume, but they're mad that this person won't accept it, won't give them an interview. Like they're not doing what's necessary, but yet it's a victim mentality, not taking accountability for the lack of security that they're looking for in you. on an emotional level, whatever it might be. And I feel as if, Aries, what you're having to recognize maybe a little bit is that puts this pressure on you to then be for them what they're not for themselves, right? And on some level, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. On some level, you feel as if that is where your value comes from. Your value does not come from the value you provide others. Okay? That was a big thing in the Leo reading too. But specifically, I feel in this connection, for some reason, there's this energy of believing that the way that you sacrificed your time, your worth, whatever it was, made you more valuable. Why wouldn't this person love me? Look at all or why wouldn't this person treat me the way I deserve? Look at all these things I did for them. When in reality, this person's over there going, oh, this is really nice. Yeah, I really like this treatment. This is awesome. Keep it up. And you're like, I can't. I don't have anything left to give. My cup is empty. Just looking at these, I said my cup is empty, and then I immediately looked at this card, the star card, and how they're just dumping out cups, dumping out energy. It's like they have all this energy you've been giving them, and you're sitting there going, like, if you put it in terms of water, like, I've given you all my water, and they're like bathing in it, swimming in it, and you're like, can I just have a drop? That's kind of what I'm gathering from that. All right, last one for this person's energy toward Aries. This person's energy toward Aries. What Aries needs to know about this person's energy toward them. It's like they've got energy to spare. You're over there like, I cannot. The truth. All right. One of the best things my therapist ever told me that drastically changed my view on relationships is that we cannot take it personally when somebody else isn't willing to change for us. Because it is not our burden to bear their journey, basically. She didn't say it in those words, but essentially. This person, they're not reciprocating, right? We already know that. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. They're not investing. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. And that's the truth. You have to look at the cold, hard truth. They are not giving you what you deserve. They're not standing up for you, showing up for you. They're not providing what you provide. They're not, they could be giving the bare minimum, but there is no match in energy here. And the truth of that is that you have to learn that when people show you what they're capable of, right? What they're capable of giving to you, and you get mad at them for not giving more, you have to look at what is within your control. Because what isn't in your control is this person, anything that they do. They might say, I'm going to change. Might have this kind of deception, right? I'm going to change, I swear. Like, look at all these online resumes I've put in, when in reality, the resume is like blank. Like, I'm trying, I swear, I'm really trying. But there's no actual change in behavior or change in cycle. You have to look not at what the person is telling you, not about how you feel about them, but how they are making you feel through their actions so that you can make the best decision for you. And that's hard to do. Looking at things through the lens of truth, taking off the rose-colored glasses and saying, okay, what is really going on here? So that you can say, yeah, I love this person. Yeah, I care about this person, but this is hurting me. And I don't deserve to be in a situation where I am this drained all of the time. So, yeah, taking off the rose-colored glasses is huge. Because I feel as if, what is it? I posted a quote the other day on my channel, and I didn't realize that it had this box on top of it. It said added to story, because I like added it to my Facebook story, and then I screenshotted it, and I didn't realize I had the quote. Anyway, I thought it was funny. I didn't realize it for like a week. But it said, the potential that we see in other people is a lie. It's merely a projection of what we would do if we were in their shoes. And, you know, it's hard when we see the potential of someone and you're like, man, if I was struggling for a job, like, I wouldn't take advantage of someone like this. I wouldn't just sit around all day doing nothing to make it happen. Like, I'd be doing. And so we think that the reason that they're not doing that is because they don't value us. When in reality, you're two different people. You have two different pasts, two different backgrounds, two different experiences, two different everything, right? Outlooks, views. I'm sure there might be similarities and mirrors and all of that, but at the end of the day, two different people, right? So you have to learn to look at people through the lens of who they are, not with who you want them to be, and then make your decisions according to that. But we're going to hop on over to the extended, because I do feel as if we're going to dive a little bit deeper into, you know, what's really kind of the purpose of this, which, you know, the middle section is the deeper purpose and the way for you to move forward in order to align with your higher self. So you have look at the bigger picture with the 6 of Swords in reverse. I'm going to pull 9 different messages, and then I have an advice card to pull at the very end. Thank you so much, Aries, as always, for your support of my channel. I obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Aries.